Hello all, welcome, Cynthia here. Today I'm doing my very first layout as a design member on the Crafty Maven Getaway, so I really hope you enjoyed this process. I'm going through my paper pads here and going to pull out some papers to use, and I use the TCMG, which is this paper pad, and it's the Hello Darling stack. And I pull out that beautiful wood grain you can see there, and a couple of the small offcuts that I've already used, and I also use that camera that I just cut out. So today's Sketch It Out Thursday. I had to stop and think for a moment there, and at the beginning you would have seen the sketch that I used. I just jumped onto Pinterest and found a sketch, and I put a picture of it at the front. There was also a inspirational piece, and from the inspirational piece I pulled the warm colours. So there's a picture on there with the brick wall, and so I've used the colours of the brick wall, and there's a fruit drink which also sort of has some nice warm orangey tones to it, so I've pulled from that as well. These three photos here are of a trip that we did to our botanical gardens in, I would say, mid, or not August, mid, what's that season called? Autumn. Thank you. It's come to me. I didn't think of what the season was called. And the leaves of the trees had just turned these beautiful, rich reds and browns and oranges, stunning colours. And they also had this gorgeous big brick wall. I had this green creeper crawling up it, and I quite liked the design aspect of that, so I snapped a photo. So I've gone through here and I've punched out a little scallop edge to go under the red paper, and now I'm just trying to line it up and make it all fit. And I think in a moment I actually pull that back up. No, actually I don't think I do. I decide that I want to add a white strip between the, just there, but I just stick it on top. I don't pull it back up. How has everyone been? You all been well? We managed to get some scrapping done, whatever it is, art journaling or whatever it may be that you're into. I've been pretty proactive lately, which is always nice. Managed to get quite a few layouts done. So if you are at all interested in having a look at some more of my work, if you haven't seen any already, look, I'll leave the details and all at the end of this video. You can jump over and have a look. But otherwise, stay and enjoy this one. I absolutely love the way this one turned out. The colours in it are just so warm and rich and vibrant, which is me to a T. If you don't know my layouts, I love colour and generally busyness. So I really love this layout. So just putting these borders down, glued that yellow one down, then I remembered that, oh hang on, I've got to put this white strip in. So I'll see if I can make it a little bit thinner so I don't have to tuck it underneath so much. So just using some craft glue to glue that down. And I'm really liking the way that's looking. So it has the yellow at the top and bottom, a white strip, and then the main, a big red piece in the middle. And these are my three photos. I decided that I'm going to mount back the middle one up on some craft foam just to give it that little bit of height. make it the centerpiece. Pretty much knew straight away that this camera was going to go there. I thought the colours worked really well with this. But other than that, I got to this point and thought, now what else? And you see that I grabbed this piece of paper here that I'm decided that I'm going to use a semicircle down the bottom. So I grab out my little doobadaki here and draw a half circle, and then I just hand cut that out. And then I'll put that down the bottom, and I'll put a nice cluster down the bottom on top of that red. The red is a slightly different red to what I used up in the behind the photos, but I still think it works quite well. Look, the colours seem to match quite well with the rest of the colours on the page, and it's just nice to give it a bright little pop of colour down there as well. Decided I'll add a strip of this yellow paper that I've been using, and yep, there it goes, up it comes. I mount it on some white cardstock and then just freehand around a white border around it so it sort of matches with the rest of the page. I think the white sort of makes it pop a little bit off the page too. And then I put that down and put that little strip on there. Happy with the way that's looking. Just glue that down. All's going well. I think I've got a little bit of stage fright. I don't know what to say all of a sudden. I've gone quiet. I could hum some music for you, but that wouldn't be very good at all. I don't think you would stay long after that. There we go. So I've got the double-sided tape out and have glued the pictures down, and I got to this stage and thought, it's quite a plain looking page. Not a lot happening, everything's quite flat other than the photo. I didn't have any real embellishments that I thought was going to go well with this page. So I'll pull out some wood veneer. I think the colours of the wood veneer will work really well on this page. So I go through all my wood veneer, and you see there I pulled out a big stack, and while I was doing that I decided that I would do some watercolour and then cut out a big stack of leaves and vines and tuck it in and around the photos. So I use my watercolours here and just dab on some colours that I think go well with the pictures. So some nice yellowy oranges and some reds and browns. Just what I think will fit with the pictures. To do some big splatters. And I got that bit of a line down the middle. I think, yeah, I soaked that up a little bit and really liking the colours in that. Obviously, nope, need that little bit extra. Dry that up and grab out a die. So I use this little die vine leaf thing here. And I just go ahead and cut out a stack from that piece of paper that I watercoloured. So the paper I used there was just water paper from a local, $2 store as such. So it's not the greatest colour, but quality, but it works for me for what I do. There we go. So I have my leaves cut out. Now I'm just going to tuck them in, and it doesn't take too long to realise that I probably don't have enough. So I grab out, thought I might use the negative space here, but I didn't like the way that looks, so I grab out the watercolours again and the dyes and go ahead and repeat that process. Get some more leaves happening. Cut out some of these bigger leaves. I thought I'll tuck them in, and I think they stay for a while, but can't quite remember whether they make it to the end page or not. No, it's not going to be enough. I have to go again. So repeat the process, dabble on some colours. Could have done a few more, but I was thought I only needed a couple. Then once I put those on, I thought, oh, I could still do with a couple more, but I make do. So now I want to add some across the top too, just to bring some same colour and texture and height and dimension up to the top. And I'm really liking the way this is coming together now. Love the way all the leaves and the vines are popping out from behind. So go back to the wood veneer, grab some little birds and some butterflies and scatter them around to see what I can come up with. And once again, I really like the way the wood veneers. I'll quite often leave my wood veneer plain. Very rarely do I do anything colouring with it. Occasionally I might emboss it, but most of the time I just leave it plain. So I think I'll go through my stash here. So I pull out my red and orange containers. So I store the majority of my ephemera by colour in these little containers. So I go through the pack here and I see these, you can see I've got a couple there, orange leaves. So I forgot that I had those in there. So I go through and pull out a stack of those and use all those. Basically pulling out anything that's sort of got a nice orangey red tone to it that I think I might be able to add to this page. So I've got a few items there. Oh, and these gold leaves. Now I do love these gold leaves. Get them from our local Kmart, I think we can buy them at. So delicate. So I'll put a couple down there and a couple up the top. And now it's starting, the layers are starting to build up and look really good. And pull out these little buttons that have some butterflies on it. Once again, in that sort of nice wood tone. The butterflies go along with the theme of the page because I've got a few butterflies scattered around. Now I use my hot glue gun to glue all that down. Try to just sneak in underneath the leaves here and there and glue it down. I always use my hot glue gun, but I quite often use it for just to add dimension. So I'll put a blob of glue underneath something, then I won't press it down hard. I'll make it just touch the page, and then the glue itself helps use it as a dimension. So you can see I started to work on my title before I turn the camera back on. So you missed me putting that little bit down. I'm sorry about that. And I put this down so it says Autumn Magic, and that is pretty much the end of the layout. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And please go over, check out my channel, check out the Crafty Maven, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.